Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Undeniably Nikki. I am coming to you all today in great spirits. I feel very well rested. I had a great weekend. So my whole vibe and energy is just, it's like on 10 today, but like in a good way on 10. So there hasn't been much going on with me other than, of course, working a lot. But this weekend I was able to get over my fear a little bit and actually go back to the strip. So I went to the strip, even though, everything, like I said, it's opening up more and more. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a little anxiety about it. Just because, like, I know I'm going to do my part to be safe, but I'm just like, is everyone else doing their part to be safe? But y'all, let me tell you. So I got over that. I went to the strip this weekend. I did a little staycation with my friend Sarah, who was in town. And then my best friend Karen. We did a little staycation because Sarah was in town. And it was great. It was great. Everyone was wearing masks. I will say the strip was packed. It looks like it's getting closer to becoming back like how old Vegas was before the pandemic, before everything shut down. But yeah, it was packed, and I hadn't seen the strip like this in, my goodness, I don't know how long. So that was interesting to see. It was a little nerve-wracking at first, but it was also cool to see because it means that things are getting back to, we're getting back to some type of normal. It shows that we're hopefully going over the hump of the pandemic, and things are going to be getting better, and things are getting better. So yeah, we went down, had a little staycation. We didn't really do much. We honestly mostly did like brunch, dinner, and slept. Like, that's pretty much what we did. We did a little gambling or whatever, but not a lot or anything like that. Didn't go to like any bars or anything like that. It was just like a real chill weekend, and it was great. It was like a good little weekend for me to just kind of rejuvenate myself a bit. While we were walking like on the strip, we went because we had to leave our hotel and we went to brunch. And we had to walk to the place where we were going to brunch. And when we were going, I was just walking like on the strip, and I was just looking, and it was like literally every single person like was wearing their mask, and they were like literally abiding by the mask. You really can't do social distancing on the strip as far as like walking and stuff is concerned. But I was happy to see that everyone definitely had their mask on. I think of the 2 days that I was down there, I probably saw a total of maybe 10 people who weren't abiding and didn't have their mask on. And when you think of like how many people are on the strip, 10 people is not that bad, So yeah, I went to the strip, had a little staycation, came home Sunday morning, and I literally like rested like all day Sunday. Like, I came home, I had some lunch, and then I like knocked out. And I knocked out for like 3 hours. And I have not taken like a 3-hour nap and I don't know how long. So I think I just was like super tired from like the week, and just drained. So it was good to like definitely get a lot of rest this weekend. And then last night I went to bed early again, and then woke up early. And so I just feel super like rejuvenated, and I feel rested, which is great, It's great because I know like come Wednesday, the way my job's set up, come Wednesday, I'm going to be exhausted again. So at least I'm going into my week super rejuvenated. What else has been going on with me? Nothing much has been going on with me other than that. I'm trying to think. Anything else? No. Other than the fact that, my sister and I are looking for a house to rent. And that has been a task. For sure. It's so crazy because right now it's a seller's market. So even though we're not buying a house, it's a seller's market as far as renting too. So it's like, as soon as like something comes up that we like we'll go see it. We won't even get a chance to really get an application in before it's like gone. Like, it's insane. We've had like a couple of houses that we loved that we wanted to put an application in. But like literally before we could even get the application in, like our realtor was like, So yeah, that property is gone. So that has been a task, and it's been kind of crazy just kind of learning the different nuances of trying to rent a house compared to trying to rent an apartment. Like, one of the nuances is that the security deposit is extremely expensive to rent a house compared to rent an apartment. So yeah, just little things like that we've been just trying to figure out and learning as we go. But what we are seeing is that a lot of the homes that we're trying to rent are only about maybe $200 than what we're paying right now to rent our apartment. So that's a good thing, and it's letting us know that we're making a wise choice to basically put that money towards a house where we'll have way more room and just pay a couple of $100 more than what we're paying right now for our tiny apartment that we're literally spilling out of. Like, it is insane. Like, I don't even want to have guests over right now because we just have so much stuff that, like, we don't even know where to fit it anymore. So we're just like getting creative with it and trying to make it fit. And I told my sister at one point, I was like, you know what, girl? I was like, because we're both like over the clutter. We're like, I'm so tired. Like, I hate being cluttered. I hate feeling cluttered. When we first moved in this apartment, it was big enough for us, but that was 5 years ago. So, you know, was that 5 years ago? It was like 4.5, almost 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in June. So the fact that, you know, we've accumulated more stuff within 5 years, to the point that we can't even fit in our storage anymore. So we're having to keep some of the stuff in our apartment. And it's just like I said, we're getting creative, trying to figure out how to make things fit. It has been daunting for both of us, especially me, because I'm super like everything has its place. I want to say neat freak, but I don't think I'm necessarily a neat freak. I just like things neat, but not super crazy neat or whatever like that. So yeah, we've been like definitely kind of having anxiety about it and stressing about it. But I was just like, you know what? We're moving in May. We have nowhere else to put it right now. So we've got to let that go and just realize, like, it is what it is for right now. And then by the time we move and we're going to have more space, things will be better and it'll be okay. So I have released it. Madea, I am not freaking out about the clutter like you know I could. I am letting it go because there is literally nothing we can do about it right now. And so what I'm going to do, sit up here and make myself go crazy about it? I'm not doing that. Not at all. So yeah, other than that, nothing else has been really going on with me. Let's see. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get into some hot topics because I got a few that I want to talk about today. Some craziness, some good stuff, some shenanigans, some foolishness. And I just want to go ahead and get into it, okay? So let's get into it, y'all. So Lil Nas X, he is getting some backlash, y'all. I don't know if you guys know, but he released a new song. I think he released it last week or over the weekend. If I'm not mistaken, I think he released it last week, late last week. So anyway, he's getting some backlash over his new song. It's called Montero, and it's also known by Call Me By Your Name. He's getting backlash over that video. Basically, people are upset because if you see the video, it is completely different from how Lil Nas X was introduced to us, you know. Like how he was introduced to us came out very PG-13. It was the Old Town Road. It was the happy song that all the kids loved. All the kids were singing. Every teacher was playing for their kids in preschool, not junior high, preschool, elementary school. The kids were all into it. So yeah, so he's getting a lot of flack for his new song Montero because it is totally different. It's completely different from how Old Town Road was. And they're basically saying that like he's got a responsibility to basically kind of still make that same kind of music he made during Old Town Road, because this one is just explicit. It's okay. So on the videos, it's a little creepy, artsy, all over the place, whatever type of thing. But the whole theme here is like giving in to the devil type of thing. Giving in to it's like living life even if you're giving into evil ways or the devilish things that aren't necessarily looked upon in society as something you should be doing, right? So in the video, like, you see Lil Nas X at one point, he gets on a pole, a stripper pole. He's got high heel stripper boots on, the ones that go all the way up to your thighs, the patent leather ones, you know, that Julia Roberts wore in Pretty Woman. He's got those type of boots on. And he's got like some boxer briefs on and then nothing else. And he's got like these, it looks like a braid wig, a red braid wig on. And he's got the baby hair swooped and everything. And he literally goes on the stripper pole and he is just like swinging. Listen, I saw his video he posted on Instagram. He was doing that. He was doing those tricks for real, okay? He's got some skills on the pole, okay? So he's like swinging like, you know, strippers do. He's working that pole and it's like this huge pole and then it takes him like down to hell. So he does this stripper pole and he goes down to hell. Now, me personally, I don't play with the devil. No, no. No, ma'am. No, sir. So I wouldn't necessarily choose a concept of my video to be something like this. But he did. Okay. So he's going down to hell and then he encounters the devil and he ends up like, he says something like, screw it. And then he like starts giving the devil like this lap dance and stuff. And I mean, if you listen to the lyrics of the song, the song to me sounds like it's like, you know, because he starts out and he's playing a guitar, an instrument under a tree. He's playing a guitar under the tree and there's like a snake wrapping around the tree. In the tree, I think it's supposed to represent like the Garden of Eden, right? So I think like he's supposed to be like tempted, you know, and I think that's what the whole song and the concept is supposed to be. And that's why he ends up going down to hell with the devil. So anyway, parents were outraged, right? Outraged and livid by this video. And I'm going to get the article so I can just kind of tell you some of the things that were said. Okay, so basically, so one of the main things that critics continuously kept saying is that Lil Nas X first came onto the scene with the smash hit Old Town Road. And like I was saying earlier, it's a song that's hugely popular with kids. So they feel like you can't just like flip the script because there's kids who are watching you and kids who are subscribed to your YouTube channel, looking at your videos and stuff. Like one person says, the system is targeting kids. Lil Nas X fan base is mostly children. They did the same thing with Miley Cyrus after Hannah Montana. Another person says, I think the biggest problem for me is the fact that he don't understand Old Town Road is every kid's anthem. Children love it is their anthem because they love the part where they get to say you can't tell me nothing. They love it. They be like, you can't tell me nothing. Like they sing it so hard. They go so hard. The little faces scrunch up. They had their hand up. They be like this. Like, because I feel like that's what they secretly be wanting to tell their parents, but they know they can't. So that's why they go extra hard on that part. So anyway, this guy, a Twitter person, a Twitter user, he said, I think the biggest problem for me is the fact that he don't understand Old Town Road is every kid's anthem. Children love him for the record. They tuned in and subscribed to his channel. So with no disclaimer, it was Joyner Lucas who said it. Joyner Lucas, who is a rapper. He's the one that said it. They tuned in and subscribed to his channel. So with no disclaimer, he just dropped some left field-ish. And all our kids seen it. Shaking my head. So Lil Nas X basically has spent the entire weekend clapping back to all these people who keep saying little things like this about, you know. He said, like, for example, Nick Young, also known as Swaggy P, he even said, my kids will never play Old Town Road again. I'm still debating about wearing at Nike after this. I don't know what he's trying to say. He says, I'm still debating about wearing Nike after this I think he was trying to say Nike drop of the blood tennis shoes, the saving tennis shoes. Because that was another thing. Apparently there was some saving tennis shoes in the video. I was looking and I guess I overlooked it, but I didn't see it. But Nike has come out and said they had nothing to do with those shoes that are in the video. Someone else created them. They are not technically a Nike shoe. So anyway, so Lil Nas X has been, like I said, he's been clapping back at people all weekend. Like one of the things he said when someone said the system was involved targeting the kids, he goes, there was no system involved. I made the decision to create the music video. I am an adult. I am not going to spend my entire career trying to cater to your children. That is your job. Then in regards to what Jordan Lucas said, he said, I literally sing, because Jordan Lucas was saying how he had, you know, Old Town Road, which is like for the kids. And now he just goes left field. And so in response to that, Lil Nas X said, I literally sing about lean and adultery in Old Town Road. You decide to let your child listen, blame yourself. And so the lyrics that Lil Nas X is talking to, where he's talking about, he sings about lean, he goes, riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder, cheating on my baby. You go and ask her. My life is a movie, bull riding and boobies, cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my booty. Okay, so that's what he said in Old Town Road. I'm not the best rapper, don't judge me, y'all. So anyway, so, you know, he's got a point. And so my whole thing is, the video, I feel like the video it's a bit much. It's not my taste. It's not what I'm into. But I do get where he's coming from. Lil Nas X came onto the scene with a pop tune. He came onto the scene with a pop tune that honestly, I think personally only went super crazy big because of the controversy of the fact that he was in the category for country music on Billboard. Other than that, I don't think a lot of people would have even heard of the song. But then when we did, because of that controversy of him being in the country music category and country music people being upset and they're like, no, this is hip hop. And he's like, no, it's country music and hip hop. I think that is what catapulted him and the song into the forefront, honestly, to keep it real. Because I had never heard of the song until all that drama was going on. And because of that, you know, people heard the song and then people were like, wow, this is actually a good song. It's catchy. It's like, it's really catchy. It's a nice song. And so, you know, then he performed at the BET Awards with Billy Ray Cyrus, and then he performed, and he was just performing it everywhere, you know. And so the more people heard it, the more it was catchy and people were into it. And yes, there were tons of kids who loved it. Tons of kids who were all about it. But when it's all said and done, it is not his job. It is not his job to raise other people's kids. It is not his job to, you know, put the message forward to the children to be like, listen, I don't think you should be listening to this. I don't think you should be listening to that. You know, this is what you need to know. This is what you not need to know. That is a parent's job when it's all said and done. So I think what the parents should do who have an issue with what the video he just dropped, well, obviously you see that he has a very eclectic style of doing music, and he will most likely continue to push the envelope, push the boundaries, and do what he wants to do. And obviously from his tweets, he's creating art, and he doesn't care what you guys think. So now it is your job as parents that you have to basically go and unsubscribe your child from that YouTube channel and just kind of have that conversation and just be like, you know, we can't listen to his music anymore. This is not on him. He is an artist, and for him to be an artist, he's going to make whatever music he wants to make. Like, artists have always had struggles with people wanting them to stay a certain way when they try to go outside the box. This is kind of like one of the issues that the Disney kids have, right? They start as Disney kids, and then they finally grow up and they become an adult, and they start exploring their adult ways, and they start exploring what it means to be an adult, and then people give them backlash. And then they try to hold them to the standard of, well, my kid likes you. My kid has watched you since they were a little kid. And it's like, but yeah, they grew up though. But they grew up. People grow up, and you have to let them grow up. And it is not people's job to raise your children, you know. you just have to hope you have raised your kids enough that they can choose their own role models, and they'll know what type of role models they want in their life. And hopefully the role model is you. Hopefully you're the role model in the child's life. So I think it's kind of ridiculous, all the backlash. I understand though where the parents are coming from too, because it is kind of like a shock value of like, wait, whoa. But y'all have to understand it. Like, I think it's up to you as a parent to do your part, to guide your child in the way you want your child to go. And if you don't want them seeing stuff like this because you think they're too young to see it, that's okay. That is okay. But you also cannot hold an artist to a standard who is creating music, who is creating the music that they want to create, who is creating the visuals that they want to create. You can't hold them to a standard of being parents to your children. You know? You just can't. So yeah. I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that the backlash is getting a little bit out of hand, but when it's all said and done, he gonna be okay, and the parents and the kids are gonna be okay. All right? Okay. So what else do I have next for you? Oh, okay. So I have an update in regards to the Sharon Osbourne drama from The Talk. So so you guys remember I told you about this on my last episode, and I was telling you how basically Sharon Osbourne weaponized her tears, and a lot of people was wondering, was she Karen after how she acted on The Talk when Cheryl Underwood was simply asking her a question, what would you tell people who may have had an issue with the fact that you have defended and have said that you're going to stand with Piers Morgan, whose comments and antics came off racist? What would you say to those people who may now think that you are racist too because you are enabling and defending this guy? It was literally like a question, and Sharon Osbourne lost it and took it to a whole nother level that it did not have to be. She made it extra dramatic and was speaking very aggressively and rudely and down to Cheryl and Elaine, especially Cheryl.
How can I?
Well,
what?
We'll be right back.
What?
We have more topics, so don't go away.
And I think we should stop this. I will ask you again, Cheryl.
Yes.
I've been asking you during the break. I am asking you again. And don't try and cry, because if anyone should be crying, it should be me. This is the situation.
Yes.
You tell me where you have heard him say, educate me. Tell me when you have heard him say racist things. Educate me. Tell me.
It is not the exact words of racism. It's the implication and the reaction to it. To not want to address that because she is a black woman and to try to dismiss it or to make it seem less than what it is. That's what makes it racist. But right now, I'm talking to a woman who I believe is my friend. And I don't want anybody here to watch this and say that we're attacking you for being racist. And for that, if I articulated
I think it's
anything,
too late. I think that seed's already sown.
But that is why I'm saying for me. I'm saying for me. For me. I thought I was asking a question about the perception for other people. That's why I prefaced it with, I've never heard you utter anything racist, but I have felt that Piers was racist in his stance against Meghan Markle, and the last time he was on this show, I said as much. I said it when he was on this show.
And what was his answer to you?
He didn't feel that it was racist. He didn't feel that the racial statements that he was making were racist. But I was talking to him.
Okay.
And I talked about how, like, we all have applauded Cheryl and Elaine for how they handled that, because we know had they had just a minuscule of aggression back at Sharon Osbourne that she had towards them, the narrative would have been completely different, and it would have been something like Cheryl and Elaine attacked Sharon Osbourne on The Talk. But because they held their own and was very strong and calm, stayed calm through it, the narrative was completely what it should have been, that Sharon Osbourne lost her freaking mind and flipped out on these people, on these ladies, for asking a question to try to actually, they were actually trying to help her, to be like, what would you say to people who may feel this way? Like, to put their mind at ease type of thing. So anyway, so after that happened, it was very dramatic, and it was like the talk over all the news circuits for like weeks, okay? And so the talk actually went on a hiatus. They went on a little hiatus, which was a planned hiatus anyway because of March Madness. So it was a little bit of a planned hiatus, but there were going to be some days where they were still going to record. But after this all went down, it became a 2-week hiatus, like completely. So, and CBS said that they were investigating claims of racism against Sharon Osbourne, and then Holly Robinson Pete came out. Like I said, you guys go back to my last episode. I get into all of this, and you'll see it on there. So anyway, so the latest news is that Sharon is leaving the talk. She is stepping down. Hold on, let me find the article. Let's see. It says, okay, so according to USA Today, Sharon Osbourne has decided to leave the talk. And apparently CBS released a statement. And the statement says, the events of March 10th broadcast were upsetting to everyone involved, including the audience watching at home. As part of our review, we concluded that Sharon's behavior toward her co-host during the March 10th episode did not align with our values for a respectful workplace. So that was their statement. That's kind of all they really said about it. You guys may also remember that Sharon Osbourne, even like, she doubled down on everything. You know, she released an apology the next day, but she did not apologize to Elaine and Cheryl at all. In the apology, she basically apologized that if her comments offended people of color type of thing, but she not once apologized to her co-host for the way she treated them. And then the next day, she did an interview on Entertainment Tonight with Kevin Frazier where she's like doubling down, and she's like, the producers set me up. They set me up. I didn't even know this was going to be discussed until last minute, and I was like, sure, we can discuss it. So I think it was a whole big setup. So she just never really took accountability, you know? And I just think it's sad, you know, because I do personally feel like cancel culture has gone too far. In this situation, it does not seem like it was a situation of her being canceled and being fired. It was a situation of her stepping down. But to me, according to the statement, it sounds like she was forced to step down, because it's always better to kind of go on your own, to say I left that job than say you were fired type of thing. But I personally I think cancel culture has gotten a little out of control. And so in a situation like this, it's annoying that Sharon Osbourne cannot see it as a moment to actually sit there and listen to two black women who are your co-hosts, who say they are your friends, who are trying to educate you on how your actions could have offended people and why they may have offended people. Why couldn't she just use that as a learning moment? You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't she just not been arrogant and come off as she's right and everyone else is wrong, and humble herself and realize, you know what? I may not know everything. And just because I haven't seen Pierce be racist does not mean that he has not done other things that other people of color, black people, or anyone else of color would view as racist. What I'm going to view as racist as a black person is not what a person who is white is going to view as racist. So it's crazy to me that Sharon Osbourne did not use that moment, which could have been a teachable moment. It could have been a teachable moment for everyone, to just literally humble herself and be there and be in that moment and listen. Shut your mouth and just listen and try to understand where other people are coming from instead of going on the attack, which is what she did. And because she went on that attack and the way she did it, and it was so nasty and very talking down to Cheryl and very disrespectful, because of that, people are calling you a Karen. People are asking, are you a Karen? And people reacted the way they did because you took a moment that could have been a teachable moment and you ruined it with arrogance. Okay? So, I just think it's sad that, you know, that's something that could have truly been a teachable moment and it wasn't. And I honestly think it is a good thing that she has stepped down from the talk. I do. I think it is because I feel like based on comments and stuff that Sharon has made in the past about people who she don't like, I feel like she's a person who holds a grudge. And I wonder what the work environment would have been like. What would she have created an even more hostile work environment that has already been created just by this one moment? And according to Holly Robinson Peete and Leah Remini, a couple of other moments that we just didn't know about, you know. So, yeah, I do think it was a good idea that she stepped down. And I think it's important that CBS is standing with Elaine and Cheryl in this moment, because ever too often, as a black woman who is in corporate America or who is in any type of work environment, who is in TV, I'm in TV, any type of work environment, you feel that your voice is not heard. And you feel that people will always take your white colleagues' word over your own. But this was a situation that played out on TV. And so I think that is something that has helped Elaine and Cheryl. And apparently on the low, Elaine had went to management about Sharon before. I don't know if it was about Sharon. I'm not going to say that, so I'm going to change it. Went to upper management about other incidents of where she and her hairdresser have felt that things were racially insensitive or forms of racism or microaggressions. So those are probably incidents that they probably, you know, swept under the rug, didn't take that serious. And now the fact that it played out on TV, they can't do that. They can't do that anymore. They've got to stand with them. They have to. So that's all I have to say about that. I do think it was a good thing that she stepped down. I'm trying to think if there's anything else with that. Okay, so what else do I have for you guys? Let's see. Oh, I just want to give a little shout out to Chrissy Teigen, who is leaving Twitter. She has already left Twitter. And the reason I want to give her a shout out is because, well, first let me just get into the story. So Chrissy Teigen announced last week that she was leaving Twitter. And, okay. So Chrissy literally made a tweet just letting everyone know that she is stepping away from Twitter. She's deleting her account. And in her tweet, she says, "Hey, for over 10 years, you guys have been my world. I honestly owe so much to this world we have created here. I truly consider so many of you my actual friends. But it's time for me to say goodbye. This no longer serves me as positively as it serves me negatively. And I think that's the right time to call something." So, she went on to say, she says, "For years, I have taken so many small to follower count punches that at this point, I am honestly deeply bruised." She goes, "My life goal is to make people happy. The pain I feel when I don't is too much for me. I've always been portrayed as the strong clapback girl, but I'm just not that. My desire to be liked and fear of pissing people off has made me somebody you didn't sign up for and a different human than I started out here as. Live well, tweeters. Please know all I ever cared about was you." So Chrissy Teigen basically stepped away from Twitter. We all know her personality on Twitter. Excuse me. She has been known as the clapback queen because, you know, folks are very brave behind those keyboards, right? They come and they say whatever they want to you. They're rude. I've had my own experience on Twitter before where I've had to just kind of block some people. Like, I'm not finna sit here and argue with you. One, because you're just not even worth it. I don't even know who you are. And I don't have time to sit up here and argue with a stranger who I just don't know. I just don't. And then two, it's not that deep, right? Like, I personally don't feel like it's that deep to be arguing with someone who I don't know on Twitter over something that doesn't even really concern both of us. So I get where Chrissy's coming from, where, you know, she said, like, we know her from being that clapback queen because she didn't bow down to the bullies. She didn't, you know, just cower to them. She was like, no, you're not going to talk to me this way. And then she would come back at them, right? And one of the famous bullies she dealt with was Donald Trump. She used to always go back and forth with him, and then he eventually blocked her. So I get where she's coming from with, so I know a lot of people are sad to see her go because, you know, Chrissy's funny too. Like, she would be funny with her clapbacks. But I get where she's coming from, where she's like, it doesn't serve her. It no longer serves her positively. And if there is something in your life that is not serving you well, it is not serving you to where you are, it is uplifting you, it is helping you to be a better person, it is making you feel good. If all it is doing is creating negativity in your life, or you're feeling like the toxicity that you're dealing with from it is too much, the best thing you can do is to walk away. And so I applaud her for honestly just being open and honest and earnest and talking about, like, you know, you guys see me this way, but some of these things that people have said have really affected me. And it affected me to the point greatly enough that I start worrying about pleasing people and making people happy instead of just being who I am. And I start doing that because I got so sick of the toxicity of having to clap back from someone being rude to me or being a troll or being a bully or whatever. So I applaud her for knowing her limits, you know, because a lot of times I feel like as humans, we don't know our limits. And sometimes we put up with a lot more stuff than we need to put up with when we can simply walk away. We don't have to stay in situations that are not good for us, you know. So I applaud Chrissy. I'm going to miss seeing her on Twitter. But I get it. I totally get it. When it's all said and done, you have to put yourself first and you have to put your mental health first. That is the most important thing. The most important thing is to basically have peace. To have peace and to feel sane and to feel like you are putting yourself first and you are not inviting negative energy and toxicity into your space if you don't want it there. And if you can take the steps to get rid of it, if you can take the steps to keep that from being in your space, why not? Why not? And I think like that goes not beyond Twitter. I think that goes for just relationships you have with people in general. You know, sometimes we hold on to relationships that no longer serve us because you're loyal. Like me, I'm loyal to a fault. So I will sometimes hold on to things that I know are not good for me or no longer serve for me because I'm loyal, you know, and I'm such a cheerleader for people and a rooter for people. But there have also been moments in my life where I've had to choose me. I had to choose me over being loyal. And I've had to choose me first and be like, you know what? This is doing nothing but hindering me. It no longer serves me. So I have to let it go. I have to let it go. And it's okay, you guys. It's okay to love people from afar. Sometimes that is what you have to do for your own peace of mind and your own sanity. You got to let them go. And you got to love them from afar, and you got to wish them the best and pray for them. But you can't have that in your realm anymore because it's doing too much to hinder you. So I applaud Chrissy. I hope we all can just kind of take a lesson from this to, you know, in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, it's all about peace and happiness and maintaining that, right? So we all have to make sure we're doing our part and doing what we need to do to protect our peace at all costs, because it is so important. And to let go of relationships or let go of things, anything in our life that no longer serves us positively, right? So, good on you, Chrissy. Let's see if I have anything else to talk about. Oh, Okay, so that's kind of all I have for Hot Topics today. I do, however, want to make a couple of announcements of some things to look out for. So, hold on, let me pull it up. So, Jamie Foxx, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but Jamie Foxx is set to play Mike Tyson in a new biopic series, and it's titled Tyson. Let's see. Jamie Foxx, who has apparently been training for about a year now for this role. And at first I was like, I don't know if Jamie could, but if you kind of squint and you tilt your head a little bit, you do that, you could see Jamie as Tyson. Because you know they're going to give him probably like the little fake gap tooth thing. He's going to definitely he'll probably have a low fade for the younger years, but then shave his head for the older years. I can see it. I could totally see it. So I'm excited about this because I want to see a biopic about Mike Tyson's life now that he has transitioned so much. Has transitioned so much to this peaceful, at peace human being that he is. So it'll be cool to like see how it goes from where he was when he was a kid to where he was when he was the greatest boxer ever to like where he is now in his older age. So let's see. So yeah, he's gonna star in the biopic. It's gonna be on television, which is great too, and it's gonna be a limited series. So when it's a limited series, it's on probably for like, they probably have, for a limited series, I think they have like 8 to 12 episodes, which is cool. So we're gonna get a lot of episodes. And it is executive produced by, let me see, so it is executive produced by Mike Tyson and Antoine Fuqua and Martin Scorsese. So, and you guys all know, so Antoine Fuqua is an amazing director. He's a black director. I'm trying to think of what he did. He did I think he did John Q. He was married to Layla Rashawn, and he had the whole cheating scandal last year. But what else has he done? He's done a lot of movies. You guys know who Antoine Fuqua is. I just can't think of it right now. And then Martin Scorsese. We all know Martin Scorsese, who has done all of the Godfathers. He has done so many of Leo DiCaprio's movies. His latest movie that he did was for Netflix, and it's The Irishman. And Martin Scorsese pretty much has his hand on like the mafia type movies, like the classics, you know. I think did Martin do Scarface too? I think he did. But anyway, these are some really great names, and we all know what an amazing actor Jamie Foxx is. So I'm excited about this, and I think it's going to be really, really good. I'm super excited about that. Okay, another announcement to make is about Lena Waithe. Now, wait, let me find that article. Let me see, where is it? I think this is it. Yeah. So Lena Waithe is announcing that she has announced that she has a new record label with Def Jam. Yep. She has a new record label, and you guys know Lena Waithe. She is a writer, producer, creator of The Chi. She was also one of the writers on Master of None, which was a comedy, and she was also an actress on it, like starred in it. And then she also has that hit show on BET called The 20s, which is a really good show too. It's super good. So anyway, she created that and executive produced that and everything too. She also produced Queen and Slim, directed and produced Queen and Slim. And I'm trying to think what else. I can't think of anything else right now, but she is a fabulous black woman who is doing the damn thing in Hollywood, and folks are taking notice. And so now her newest thing is that she has a partnership with Def Jam Records, and she is basically going to have her own label. And so her hopes out of this is to develop the next generation of underrepresented artists. And the record label is going to be called Hillman Grad Productions, which shout out to Hillman from a different world, which I'm thinking it's a shout out to Hillman, but I'm not sure, but shout out to Hillman if it is. But yeah, it's called Hillman Grad Productions. And so Wade talked about it, according to this article on the Griot. She talked about it in an official statement, and she said, music and storytelling have always gone hand in hand. And I think that's because musicians are the storytellers we love the most. They can take complex emotions and simplify it in 4 minutes. The same artist can sing about the revolution and falling in love. Music is a part of us. It's so often connected to our fondest and sometimes our darkest memories. And you know what? That's true. You know, music is a huge part of our lives. Like, if you even just like think back, just think to like being in a car or being somewhere and a song plays from your teen years or your childhood, you remember exactly where you were and what was happening when you first heard that song. You always have these memories that connect to music. And, you know, that's totally storytelling, because guess what happens? You're like, oh, I remember when I first heard this song, I was here and I was there and I was doing this and I had this on. So then you start telling a story. So I love this. I think it will be a great thing. I would like to see, I will say, my only caveat is that I would love to see, I would love to know if she is gonna cater towards the writing part of the music industry too. I think that would be a great thing for her to do, to create the next set of great writers in music. I wonder if they're going to do that. Let me see. I mean, I don't think I read anything that said that that's what they would do, but I think it would be cool if that was a way they were going too, because I think, you know, everyone wants to be in music and be in the forefront and be the singer. But if anyone knows anything about the music industry, when you're writing, when you can write your own music, that is where you are making the money. That is why Mariah Carey, who hasn't toured in God knows how long, who hasn't really put out any new music in God knows how long, is still super rich and rolling in the dough. Because you know what song she wrote? She wrote All I Want for Christmas Is You. She wrote a lot of her songs. She wrote a lot of her songs. So she still makes money off of the royalties every time it plays. But the fact that she wrote All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it is always the #1 Christmas song every freaking year. I mean, that just shows how much writing and being able to write music is so important. So I think it would be cool if Lena had an addition to her record label where she is creating the next great writers in music or something like that. And I think that'd be even cool to like make like a reality show about that. That would be cool. But anyway, yeah, so good on her, good on Lena, continuing to do just Black excellence like every day. You know, this can even be categorized as like Black excellence, you know, because I feel like she is always pushing the envelope, pushing the boundaries, always, you know, trying to do something new and continue to make Black people shine. And I'm continuing to tell our stories. And now she's going to make sure that we're continuing to tell our stories through music. So I'm excited about this. And I'm excited to see how it will pan out. And I think it would be cool. I think it would be really cool. So we'll see. Let's see what else. Do I have anything else for you all? Nope. I don't have anything else, y'all. I do not have anything at all. But, oh, you guys, y'all know I always forget this. Please, if you are loving what you like, if you're loving what you like, that's not what I meant. If you are loving what you are hearing on my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that bell, ding, so that you can get alerted to every time I am uploading a new episode of Undeniably Nikki. Y'all, I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate, you know, you all commenting in the comments. I appreciate you all sending me little texts on the sides, telling me like what you thought about it. And I just appreciate you coming back every single week to watch. Also, please make sure you're sharing and liking. You know, also feel free to share my episodes with your friends, your family, your cousins, like everybody, you know. I have so much excitement every time I can sit down here and turn this camera on and just talk to you guys about different topics that I'm interested in and just have a discussion. And I say a discussion because even though it seems like I'm talking to myself because no one's here with me, I am talking to you. I'm talking to you, and I love hearing what you guys think about everything when you write in the comments what you're thinking. So again, you know, I don't have anything else to talk about right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And I just want to again say thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Undeniably Nikki. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much, and I love how you continue to rock with me no matter what. And I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.